Direct to the heart, direct to the world. Hello everyone, welcome to the bilingual TV program Telling China's Story. I'm Liu Feng from Shenzhen, China. It is known that durian, as a national treasure food of Malaysia, is the king of fruits, right? The smell, smooth texture have captivated the people's taste. HSBC released some data. It said, thanks to Chinese consumers' love for durian, the global demand for durian skyrocketed by, do you know how much? 400% year on year. And Chinese market accounts for 91% of the global demand for durian. So from the farm in Malaysia to the dining tables of Chinese people, what happened to durian's journey? Our production team made a trip to the farms in Malaysia, and we find that some durian farms upgraded the traditional method, and they adopted digital operations across the entire supply chain, from planting, freezing, to transportation and export. So today, we are very honored to have invited two guests here. Dr. Lee Kin-Yu, Associate Researcher at the University of Malaya, welcome. And Professor Huang Jing from Shanghai International Studies University to discuss how digitalization can empower the transformation and upgrading of traditional industries by using the Durian Industry Cooperation between China and Malaysia as an example. And we will discuss the opportunities and the potential embedded in the integrative development of China-Malaysia industries. We welcome everyone here to share your curiosities and thoughts on this topic. What are the new trends in digital economy cooperation between the two countries? Let's welcome Dr. Lee to share his research and observations with us. Welcome.
My name is Kin-Yu, Dr. Lee Kin-Yu. Currently, I'm attached with my alma mater, University of Malaya, and in the Department of Chinese Studies, University of Malaya, as well as one of the associate members for the Malaysia Chinese Research Center. So you see so many Chinese things in my life. Actually, my thesis, my whole life research areas will come to the Chinese business in Malaysia, as well as overseas Chinese in business trading. I did study a lot about the Chinese family business. I saw most of the Chinese business in Malaysia, Malaysian Chinese, they start to move up to create the new trend in the textile knowledge, to innovate the knowledge in order to push the Nanyang products to overseas. So if you go back to some of the later trends in Malaysia, we can see recently the Malaysia-China Digital Corporations cooperated with PICOM, National Tech Associations, that tend to encourage more and more with so-called technopreneurs or entrepreneurs, the new talented star, to involve in the digital business. So much of the digital economies initiative implemented by our current Prime Minister. So we can see the Madani program. We have so much of the digital programs such as the digital agriculture, digital finance, digital banking, and we also have a digital healthcare. So among this all, I'm quite interested to know how to sustain the business, how to sustain the knowledge from one generation to another. Have everyone also know that even they include the TikTok, Xiaohongshu, you can promote all types of durians from the breakout model strategies to everywhere, to China and other places. And even from Nanyang, we can fostering the better innovation in terms of promote our Nanyang product in the social or electronic commerce in Malaysia. For example, what are the Nanyang products beside durian? Yeah, we also have like some sort of like coffee, white coffee. So did everyone also hear about white coffee? So those days, we use the traditional methods in order to sell the business from the traditional way. So now, by using the electronic commerce, we can even sell the white coffee powders by using the technology in order to boost up the sales to China and other countries. China, especially for some sort of like Shopee, Lazada, even their headquarters in Singapore, they also can strengthening the business relationship, even the system partner, we call it to implement or to sell, to introduce the Nanyang food products in the electronic commerce. So in the future eras, in the digitalized era, electronic commerce will play the important strategies in order to boost up the sales. And with the help of the social commerce, Taobao or Shopee or Lazada, some of the OEM manufacturers that even post their products into the website by putting some of the Nanyang products in the website to encourage more people to join in. So from the examples that I gave it to you, so we can see the whole world, we cannot live without digitalization, or we cannot live without electronic commerce. We can say that the China model, the China business model, they're really trying to adapt into the multicultural society in Malaysia. Some of the Chinese products, they even can get a specific attention from the youth, from the youngster, as well as from the millennial or generation X and Y in terms of the fashion, in terms of the brand. That also, as China, as a factory Asia, that also can help all those the manufacturing to create their own brands, their own branding, their own source of like marketing strategies in order to boost up the sales. You have to believe the importance of digital economics to change the way we always perceive the same as we visited to some of the traditional stores. We got to change our mind in order to accept the reality. By thinking about this platform, we can actually build another way of the tacit knowledge for better generation and better future. Thank you very much.
Let's welcome Professor Huang to share his observations. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. I learned a great deal from this excellent speech given by Dr. Lee. Indeed, the digital economy is the future. But here I wanted to say something a little bit different, in a kind of broad way. We know that there is a new concept called high quality development. And through high quality development, we can get prosperity together, called common prosperity, right? But what is high quality development? Why high quality development is so important for us, especially for the young people like you? Why we need common prosperity to kind of increase our quality of our life, to increase the kind of confidence we have in the future. Here, let me explain a little bit to you about high quality development. We know that high quality development, in my mind, have to meet three conditions. Number one, the development will have to benefit more people than less people. For example, if I have an industry, in this industry, only a handful, a minority can benefit from it, but majority getting even worse. That is not high quality development. I give you an example. For example, plantations. If I have a plantation, is a palm plantation or tea plantation like in China, or rice plantation, only a handful of them called landowners or landlord. And this plantation be successful, but only the landlord reap off the most of benefits, but the farmers or peasants being shortchanged. The more they do, the harder they work, the poorer they become, right? So this is a very bad development. This is low quality development. first. So high quality development, the first condition is that it has to benefit more people. That development of this industry or of this job, get more people benefit from it. Winner are more than losers, first. Second, the high quality development has to be environmental friendly. That is, we know that industrialization is caused by two results. Number one is the massive consumption of natural resources. Number two, rampant urbanization. In this process, we damaged our environment. All the countries, industrialized countries, went through this bad path. For example, in 19th centuries, after initial industrialization, London has become a foggy city, right? Very bad weather here. The third conditions for high quality development is even more important in my view, the most important one. That is, your development has to help promote the social harmony. That is, the more you develop, the more you feel you're like a family. You get more and more united. You get more and more together. So it creates a kind of sense, very strong sense of community, of identity, of being a family, so on and so forth. I'll give you two examples, the bad and the good. A bad example is the United States in the 18th century. The South is doing plantation. For plantation, they need more slaves, blacks, African Americans. They need kind of protection of royal family from far away in England. They want monopoly. But in the North, American North, they have more and more industries. For industries, you need more workers or laborers, and laborers has to be free man. A slave can be laborers. I think China's development, I just mentioned a little bit, has tried to focus on so-called high quality development. In Chinese word, you call 高质生产力, 高, high, 质, quality, high quality development. It's exactly translation word by word. So what is high quality development? I mentioned, number one, has to benefit more people than make more people feel heard. Number two, environmental friendly, the so-called new industry, new energy, green industry, and so on and so forth. Number three, has to create more harmony of society. People feel more. And this has another element in it, that is distribution. That is, the benefit of development has to be equally or fairly equally distributed among all the people. In this regard, the state policy, industrial policy, has played an important role. And all of this, if we think China's been successful, you ask, if you gave me one word that China has been successful, that we can all benefit from it, or we can learn a little bit from it, that word is cooperation. You have to work together. You have to try to work together as a machine, as a clock, cooperate together. I think the better life is yet to come. Why? Three conditions are here. Number one, in the past 40 years, this region we call Asian Pacific has remained peaceful. We don't have wars in this part. Please treasure this. Once we have wars, everything finished. It is our biggest achievement for Asian Pacific people. For whatever reasons, we have avoided wars. You look at Europe, you look at Middle East, you look at Latin America, the wars over there. Ever since 1991, I said this morning, we have over 200 wars happen all over the world. But in this part, we don't have any. Number two, like it or not, the center of gravity for economic development, for diplomacy, for political interactions, and so on and so forth, has been transformed irrevocably from Atlantic to Pacific. Now everybody has to come here to do business. We are the center and we are the future. Keep that going. And this achievement, again, is done through cooperation, by working together, not by fighting against each other. And last but not the least, we have the most hungry industrious people, especially young people like you, who are kind of beefed up to do a good job. Because if you think this, if my life can be better than my parents, right, through my own hard working, I want to make sure my children's life should be better than mine. That's how you keep society going. So again, my finished words is here. Your life is yours. As long as you keep your life in your own hand, and you're determined to work together, not to fight against each other, but work with each other, and then the future is yours. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. So I have a questions here. Just now, Professor actually mentions that there are 400% of increase for the durian in the consume in China. So I think last decade is from the export is actually from Thailand, you know, and recently it's actually from Malaysia. It's actually increased. So my questions will be, as a Chinese, from China, what is the reasons? Malaysia's durian increase.
You ask a great question. I'm not expert in this. In other words, I did not do my research, so I can tell you only through my direct personal experience. I never ate durian. I hate the smell. I worked in Singapore for 10 years. I never had one bite of durian. But yesterday, when I visited the durian plantation, everybody cheered me up, say, have a bite, have a bite. So have a bite. Mao Shan Wang is so delicious. I immediately fell in love with it. That's my story. In other words, the durian from Malaysia is really, really delicious. The taste is good. As China opened up, especially after 10+1 treaty, more and more Chinese have the opportunities to try both durian from Thailand and from Malaysia. And more Chinese come here to try durian. For example, when I first landed here, we have a street interview on the street. We have a family from where? From Xinjiang, from Urumqi, far, far northwest. Come to Malaysia for what? Just for durian. That's how attractive it is. So more and more Chinese come to Malaysia, they try durian, and the Malaysia durian more shipped to China. So that's the second reason I can think about it. Third reason, I think that Malaysia government, or people like you, did a very good job to promote Malaysia durian. If you go to China, for example, I'm a member of Sam Club. I went to Sam Club in Shanghai once every week. I can say the ad is there, Mao Shan Wang from Malaysia, and it's everywhere. So this kind of promotion has been very successful, I have to add that. And also we have people like you, try everything possible, try to use your professional knowledge to smooth up the kind of chain, because durian is a supply chain. We call supply chain, right? From plantation to the storage, from storage, transport to China, from China to the wholesaler, from wholesale to the market to people like me. So this entire supply chain, we have people like you work very hard on it. So congratulations, you've been successful.
Are there many young people in China venturing into the digital field? If Malaysians want to find a job in China's digital sector, do you have any advice?
I can answer your question because recently I did become one of the examiners for one of the China students, okay, for the cross-border electronic commerce. When I got the thesis, then I noticed that in China, even the Zhejiang, Guangdong, more and more people tends to involve in the electronic commerce industry. In the future, okay, for the better wise into work in China, the candidates must be equipped with the artificial intelligence or with some sort of AI skill in order to involve in all those like the electronic commerce industry. Thanks. I hope I can answer your questions.
我的名字叫思慧，我想问黄教授，就是我有点担忧是关于到中国的数字化的那个安全问题。中国是如何就把那个数字化弄到安全的嘞？
It is a very important issue because we know that our entire person is actually built up by the information about me. So if you know how old I am, what kind of food I want to eat, where I want to go shopping, is I married or not, how many kids I have, how much is my income, what kind of story, what kind of movie I prefer. If you know all those data, you know me. And you can manipulate me, you can control me. For the community, it's the same. So data is about our basic fundamental survival, is our security. So as the AI industry is to collect your data. So everyone as an individual or every country, every community as a collective body, we got to be very sensitive, very careful about data, because data is about who I am or who we are. But this security is normal. But the dilemma is this: we have to work together like the corporate. Corporate, you should let the other side, the one who work with you, know you as better as possible. On the one hand, I don't want to let you know me about, because that's my safety. On the other hand, in order to work with you, I will have to let you know me, and how to overcome this problem, this dilemma. That is, first we have to build up trust. Once we trust each other, we know that we're tied up, we bound together because of common interests. Then we volunteer to give our data to you because I want you to know me better, so that we can work together more effectively, right? So build up trust, build up mutual confidence, make sure we want to work with each other, not to fight each other. Then I think we can overcome this dilemma about I want you to know me, but I don't want you to know me. This kind of dilemma, right?
I just add on a little bit from doctors. Okay, in my point of view, because my wife currently is working in the CIMB as a vice president, so in the IT department. So I noticed that nowadays the cybersecurity features they're really concerned on. So CIMB also did invest a lot of money in order to ensure everybody will be in the safe mode. For example, when you click on it, when you do the online transactions, so they're always been safe. So what are the strategies that have been enforced in the banking sector? Now, that is the hottest topic to be discussed, blockchain. So I remember I did attend several conferences in Jinan University, in Guangdong Zhongshan National San Yat-sen University in the management school. Many people are mentioning blockchain. So if blockchain system can be implemented into our Malaysian banking system, actually everybody's identity itself will always be kept secrets, from the transaction that you made from one day up to the transaction that you made from 10 days ago or the months ago, you can get known on it. So the blockchain is a hot topic to be discussed. The CIMB, many people also not sure that our e-wallet, okay, our e-wallet that you are using, actually we did cooperate with China. We did cooperate with China in order to implement the system, the Alibaba Pay. So I did visit Japan. So I feel very happy that I saw the e-wallet can be used in the vending machine as well as the taxi service. So if our country is implementing blockchain, we believe in the blockchain, so every data will be stored in the database system. From the database system, we can see that whatever transaction that we made from the day or from the past 10 days or even the past 3 months, we always in the safe security to believe on the online transactions. So now if you ask everybody, they're doing on the online business trading, many of them, they don't know what is a blockchain innovation. What does it mean? The blockchain, whether can use in the supply chain innovation, nobody use. But the banking sector itself is start invest a lot of money into the blockchain technology to ensure the cyber securities always not violence your intention in order to do whatever online transaction.
我想问一下 Dr. Lee， 如果中国和马来西亚要深入的融合合作在各方面的话，要怎样保证双方的利益，以及会有什么样的挑战还有风险呢？谢谢。
During my young times, a lot of people also say, we need to be careful of the Chinaman business because the trust itself. But nowadays, you say the China business is in everywhere. If you see the social commerce, the electronic commerce, we tend to use the business model from China in order to enhance the business. So what we need to do is, we need to study what kind of the business model that really can adapt into the Malaysian markets. And from the China perspective, they also need to know our country's policy, our country's cultures perspective in order to better know our country is positioning as one of the wonderful countries with a multicultural, with a diversified environment.
The next question is for Mr. Huang, Professor Huang. So from a micro perspective, can digitalization give some emerging industry catching up advantage or enable small or medium-sized enterprises to get more opportunity, especially in regions with imbalanced development?
Yes, one thing about production, for example, Durian, is how to increase the effectiveness, the kind of massive production so that lower the cost. I just visited Durian there. I think that Durian is a very hard working, like you said, from plantation, 嫁接 to growing, you have a disease, you have different weathers, you have different rain, and then the fertilizing, everything is a back-breaking job. But can you imagine, I was talking with Mr. Sam Tan, another Tan, who is the chairman of the Durian Association. He gave me a picture which I think makes a lot of sense. For example, one very hard work is to fertilize the durian. But to fertilize, you have several problems. Number one, you cannot do it at the same time, because if you are on the human labor, he can only fertilize one tree at a time. So maximum one person can fertilize, for example, 100 trees. And so it cannot be fertilized at the same time, which means the quality of durian become vary, it cannot be controlled. But can you imagine that we use drones to fertilize? And we know durian were planted on the landscape like this, ups and down, ups and down. For people have to go up, go down, go up, go down. But you program the landscape into drones. And drone has a fertilizer in there. They go to the durian in the valley, the drone would go down and fertilize this one, immediately go up, fertilize this one. So one drone can do over 10 people's job, and very equally, very decisive, very precise, and the quality can be controlled. Can you imagine if we digitalize all those kind of productions, like you said, from plantation to storage, to transportation, to market, all of this, then durian from the plantation of farming into industry, we have kind of a scale and quality increase massively. As a result, everyone become more professionalized in what he or she is doing. And as an industry, we become a scale and more, it's like industrialized the entire durian production, which again, we become the modern production and everybody can benefit from it. I would not imagine this, and I believe this can be achieved in next decade or so. Look how fast it is. And one thing I want to share with you is that before the pandemic, when I just went back to China, durian is such a luxury. But nowadays, every supermarket in China has durian there. And I was told by Mr. Tan yesterday that durian sale in China has increased 50 times in just 5 years. There are 1.5 billion people in China. If just 10% of them began to love durian, that is 140 million, and trust me. And durian price, I was told, about 5 years ago, is about $9 per kilo, but now it's 55. It's explosive, massive, it's really massive exploitation about durian products and durian consumption. So that's why I'm glad that we have expert here doing exactly that. You're going to have a great future, I believe.
Dr. Lee, the Malaysian government launched Digital Malaysia in 2021 that aims to build Malaysia into high-income countries and regional leader driven by digital economy. So currently, how's the progress, and in which area does Malaysia have significant advantages?
Okay, thanks for the questions. I think during the Tech Talk, okay, I did share with the audience about the digital initiative, digital economies initiative that implemented by the governments, that including the digital healthcare, digital tourism, digital banking, digital finance, and even the digital agriculture that just now we share about the durian plantations. From A to Z, we can just keep in the apps. But from my recent studies, I think the bigger opportunities that is AI robotics, because based on our former Prime Minister, they say that our countries is really demands for, the really hopes for the foreign workers to work for us. For example, some of the industries, some of the manufacturing side, we can see that we are shortage of the laborers to run the business. We also shortage of the manpower to involve in certain kind of skill business or skill business sector. Why not we try to learn from China in order to learn the recent robotic technology to replace the manpower, the shortage of the manpower in Malaysia. So now with Kinon technologies, we also can replace the manpower, because that is the hard times for us to hire, especially the manpowers to serve in the restaurants. So by using Kinon, we just install the language that you need, maybe Cantonese or Chinese. So you need shrimp, or you need hagao, or you need siu mai. So definitely they will, like in the restaurants, will create a harmonious environments. Then also, because this is a routine work, so you don't need to worry. For example, the robotic will say that I not like the works. I need to resign from the job. There will be 24 hours, even 365 days to serve for you. Not only the Kinon technologies nowadays work in the Chinese restaurants. Now the Kinon technologies also need to cooperate with Malaysians in order to implement the AI robotics, the algorithm products, the works in the manufacturing sector to replace the routine jobs, the routine works. So because we very hard to hire the foreign workers. So the robotic, the AI robotic, that is a good thing in order for us to implement on it.
In 2022, the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership RCEP came into effect. And over the past 2 years, the trade costs have been reduced and the connection of an industrial and supply chain has become closer. And data showed China's total imports and exports with the other 14 RCEP member countries reached 12.6 trillion yuan in 2023. So Dr. Lee, what role will the RCEP agreement play in achieving common prosperity among the countries in the region?
That is a very good question, because in my opinions, because I stay in Malaysia, so I always positioning myself is not in the Asian regions. I always positioning myself in the Southeast Asia regions, although I'm the Malaysian Chinese. So I can see the biggest opportunities for China to cooperate with the RCEP countries, especially Southeast Asia. Why Southeast Asia? Most of the peoples, or maybe most of the younger generation, we say, Southeast Asian markets, that is just a very small markets. And the GDP is not great enough if you compare to the West, but you are wrong. So the RCEP countries, if let's say, include the Southeast Asia, not only we can promote our products, and also we can learn from the Chinese technologies based on the One Belt, One Road initiative. So with the rising of the China factor itself, that really will create the thousands of opportunities with all those Southeast Asia in order to create, to help to build up the Southeast Asia brand in the international arena.
RCEP actually has 3 senses. Number 1 is equality. All the parties join RCEP as an equal party. No bully, no so-called imperialism or whatever, we're all equal. Number 2, it's a result of compromise through negotiation. A compromise enables all the enjoining parties to win, it's called win-win parties. Number 3, it's transparent. The treaty, a very important feature of a treaty is that we do it transparently. Transparent will prevent any party from shortchanging you. That we all, last but not the least, we institutionalize our commitment, our contribution, and also our money-making capabilities through these treaties. So as a result, by RCEP, we have inked not only our commitment, but also our willingness and capability to benefit from it. Now this kind of further initiated by ASEAN, we have a new one, a larger one called RCEP, has really created a kind of situation that all of us becomes prosperous together.